The coffee is unbelievable this morning. Happy New Year! Let's get this thing started right. And wow, do I got something to talk to you about. Now, guys, I'm not one of those experts when it comes to cosmic space and objects and UFOs and things shifting around up there in the great atmosphere of space. But I do know the creator of the heavens. I do know the creator of the earth and the moon and all of the stars and the sun and the galaxies and the Milky Ways and the constellations. I know who he is, and he always has a surprise for us. Matter of fact, he promised us in the last days he would show us signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars. You can find that in Luke chapter 21-25. Let me read that one verse. Then I'm going to show you where to go on a tremendous video to watch. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations. We know we're in that day. With perplexity or confusion. And the sea and the waves are roaring. Now we do know there's a lot of other signs that would point to the end of the world, including all the earthquakes that's been happening around the globe, including a 7.0 that hit Japan on New Year's Day just after midnight, not long. Same night, of course, New Year's Eve, that the blackbirds were falling again out of the skies in Beebe, Arkansas and Louisiana. But we want to talk about the stars. Now, I'm telling you right now, 2011 blew me away. We had that light that was over top the Temple Mount, over top the Temple Mount, right over top the Dome of the Rock Mosque that hovered there and then shot up real fast, sending a lot of what in the world. People were confused. I mean, that one I still think that potentially, I mean, it always could be tricks. There could always be tricks and things that people use with cameras, but it may have been, I don't know, but I've speculated potentially it could have been the temple fire that always came down. But there is no Holy of Holies right now. The temple's gone, and so thus it is removed back. That's just a theory. It's not, look, I'm just throwing it out there. But there's been some things that's went on this year, past year, 2011. The Comet Elenin specifically came out of nowhere, and as it began to get closer and closer and closer, it was a very large comet, but it was quite a distance away, but it still got in between the sun and the earth, and it did that right during the Feast of the Trumpets, a spectacular time for such an event. And then it got its closest point to the earth during the Feast of the Tabernacles, including the night that you go out, the Jewish men who stay out in the yard all week anyway, during the Feast of the Tabernacles, and they look up into the heavens and they see, they give glory and honor and praise to the creator of the heavens and earth and time and space. And it just so happens the very night they do that was the night the Comet Elenin was its closest point to the earth. I see that as significant. The Comet Lovejoy just recently has blown my mind. First of all, NASA, the Hubble telescope, the International Space Station, all the observatories on the earth, nobody saw this thing coming but one little amateur down in Australia by the name of Lovejoy. And we do know that Jesus went to the cross because he loved the world. He gave his life, and he endured the suffering of the cross with great joy. That is biblical scripture. But Lovejoy found the comet, and as this comet was racing toward the sun, it took on the shape of a cross. You can even see the head and the arms extended as Lovejoy raced into very close to the sun. NASA and all of the astronomers all said, it's over. No! Lovejoy emerged on the other side of the sun, was not destroyed, and then began to shake a little with a tail extended as it moved on into the cosmos. Is God shaking up the heavens and the earth? Is there something going on? Is there something biblically going on already with the signs of the coming of the Lord? I just seen that the blackbird story, Heidi just told me just a few minutes ago, that the Australian News is now covering the story, which is a very large publication there in Australia. They printed it January 3rd. Today, January 2nd. But it's already January 3rd in Australia. They've already printed the article. You can go read it. They have some good quotes. I'm quoted in there as it could potentially is a biblical phenomenon. So anyway, that's good to know. It's being moved around out there as the message is getting out there of the Hosea prophecy. Here's the key, though. When the birds were falling out of the sky, this object that I'm going to tell you to go to this video. It's called, the name of the video is A Closer Look at UFO Through Stereo B. This guy uses it's Stereo B is what NASA releases. This is NASA's. It was hovering over and looking into space, and all of a sudden this strange object that looks like a pyramid. It has a long tube-like structure. It's huge. I mean, it's enormous. You can see it on the Stereo B released by NASA. The guy who put it on YouTube, his name is Mr. Beebe 333. That's his YouTube name. I've never talked to the guy. I've never met the guy. I don't know how credible he is, actually. I don't. I'm just going to throw it out there. You guys can do some research on it. But his handle, again, his channel is Mr. MBB333. Go look at his video. Closer look at UFO. It's only about a 4-minute video, 3 or 4 minutes. Watch it all the way through. Watch this object. It's huge. What is it? And this was captured by NASA on Stereo B 1 hour before midnight on New Year's Eve. I'll be right back with some more. We know what Iran's doing. I mean, how many nuclear tests and how many nuclear boasted of nuclear rods created, and how many times? What is Ahmadinejad doing? Is he begging to be hit? It almost seems as if he's begging NATO, begging America, begging Israel to hit, because he must have a counter-offensive prepared and ready. Stay with me. We'll be right back. We got some powerful news. And don't miss my radio show today live at LibertyBroadcastingNetwork.com. That's www.LibertyBroadcastingNetwork.com. We'll be right back.